Welcome back, everybody. It's Ben from the Ben and Bev channel, and today we're going to be talking about the Book of Boba Fett, Chapter 1.
Stranger in a Strange Land.
I just realized the other day I've never actually made a review for Mandalorian Season 1 or 2, besides that first video when the first episode of Mandalorian came out. It's,
not that great of a video, to say the
I
least.
think the first two seasons of The Mandalorian have been one of the best Star Wars things to come out recently, and it's probably my favorite Star Wars property in general. When I was a lot younger, I was a really big fan of Star Wars, very much into the Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars series when it came out, and I just loved the whole backstory. There was a Star Wars wiki page, a whole database of information you could look up about different planets and groups of aliens.
History of them and what exactly happened to their populations and how the Jedi influenced it. And
I was first introduced to the Mandalorian lore. Everything about that was super intriguing, and the fact that Boba Fett was someone who was wearing that armor was something I really wanted to see tackled, and when he showed up in Mandalorian, I was really excited. I knew it had to happen eventually, especially once his armor popped up in the season, but leading up to that second season, I never anticipated it. See Temuera Morrison return, absolutely slay at that first episode, slaughtering stormtroopers with whatever he could find near him. The fact that Disney approached something like The Mandalorian was able to make it work so well, and the creative team behind it dedicated so much care to detail, and overall it has just been a really fun experience. Some of the episodes haven't been great. My least favorite episode still has the introduction of the Fennec Shand character. That's a really prominent one when it comes to this new version of Boba Fett. Their partnership is something I find really interesting. The two have really great chemistry. And though Mandalorian Season 3 is extremely far away, I was really excited to see that teaser for a Book of Boba Fett series. I almost forgot that Book of Boba Fett was coming out this year after how long it's been. Now here we are, and I will say that I'm not super impressed. I'm not disappointed. There is some interesting time jumping that's occurring in this first episode that's going back and explaining how he got out of the Sarlacc pit and how he ended up where he is today and how it's related to that ecosystem in Tatooine.
From Tusken Raiders to Jawas.
As we're getting these flashback sequences, it actually takes up about half of the episode, and each time it changes from there to modern day, it definitely. But I really liked all the flashback sequences, and it's interesting to see his story and how he was brutally beaten and at his worst point, starving out in the desert without his armor. And though that story is a lot slower, it was really interesting to see, and I think the familiarity of it will be something fans will enjoy, though I think a little
Over-obsessed with Tatooine, but I'll take it because I know that's where this episode's probably going to be taking place.
switch to the modern day sequences, him establishing his new empire. That's very Mafia movie and Mafia Don type of story going on as he's trying to lead this area with a new form of respect rather than just fear and raw power, as he doesn't have the maximum strength of Jabba's empire and he has to go out and reassure that he has all of these allegiances. He also has to take tributes from some people and discuss some politics, as there's some players in this region that don't really want to get along with him, including someone that's the mayor. Sounds like that'll be a threat moving further. There's a scene where he just walks into the city.
The whole time Fennec Shand is just telling him
How much of a mistake it is to walk in there on foot and not parade around like true royalty and show yourself. I thought that was really interesting that he has these moral principles that he wants to stand on despite being a criminal warlord who wants to take over power, almost forceful manner if he has to. He tries his best to not overly kill people and he tries not to torture anybody, but at the end of the day, he gets the job done. That's what we're here to see. I think that angle's really interesting. The episode kind of ended in an awkward place. It feels like it was a bigger section divided right in the middle. Like, I think there's going to be more time jumps in the next episode as well.
it's whenever he is in the bacta tank, and they don't really explain that at the beginning. We don't know how long ago it was, but you get the idea it was pretty quick after he fell into the Sarlacc pit.
Overall, it's good to see Temuera Morrison back, and I think Boba Fett and Fennec Shand have a really cool chemistry, and I like the way the story is going. It's interesting tease, and kind of like the first episode of Mandalorian, it shows you what they're going to be doing in this somewhat familiar but somewhat different Star Wars landscape with a character who's a little farther along down the line and has found himself in a new place of power in a different universe that's kind of led astray, and a chance that he can take to use his authority and history to establish his dominance. Cool rising to the top story in a sci-fi mafia setting. Something definitely different on the Disney Plus platform, and hopefully we get to see a little more of the brutal side at some point coming up.
There was only one fight in this, and it wasn't
Nearly as crazy as the episode he popped up in the second season of Mandalorian, but I'm definitely intrigued and looking forward to next week's episode. The return of Ludwig Göransson's score in this episode is also phenomenal. All of his little pieces are great, and the other composer they have filling in the blanks does a great job of carrying the mood and feel that Göransson provides for those center pieces for each of the characters. Love the introduction of the different tribal elements in the percussion as well as the choir singing in the background. It makes it a lot more intense. What did you guys think of the first episode of Book of Boba Fett? Let us know in the comments below. We'll see you guys next time. Ben and Bev, out.